Good is able to receive that request. Can you sponsor a kid for swim lessons?
Right.
And of course we can. You know, of course that's what we want to do.
Or baseball. Yeah. Or track, right?
Absolutely.
Shoes for track. I mean, the things that hinder kids, especially, because they are really the at-risk population here. I mean, adults are at risk too, but the real need, what we're trying to help is the next generation, right? These kids, I mean, it could be a pair of sneakers that is preventing them from not getting in trouble. It could be a sponsorship to play at the YMCA's baseball, right?
Yep.
That could put them on the fast track to community and success.
Yeah.
To have a coach who cares about them, have a teammate, have fellow parents who then see that need in real life, right?
Yep.
And that is the beauty of Hope for Good, in my opinion, is it's not just one thing.
Yes.
It is this mosaic of needs, right, and people that are coming together to create wholeness, right, and hope, right?
Yes.
And that excites me. And I'm really excited about what we can do with some funds there at the ready for these needs that come forward.
Yeah. And funds are only a piece of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would be great is if each of our churches and church members become more and more invested in Hope for Good, so that we just know your availability.
Yeah.
So that when opportunities come up where we've built wheelchair ramps, we've built handrails, we've had people go in and paint things. Like if we have needs like that, which are not about money, but it's about time and about investing into people who are literally sometimes a couple doors down. I can call you up and be like, hey, did you know Susie 3 doors down needs some help? Can you go over there and help her for the 15 minutes that she needs help? You know, there's this wonderful need that we're working on developing, and it's just like the meal train kind of thing. Several churches do it. I think the Methodist Church does it sometimes. But through one of our partnerships, they have access to these seniors in their homes that can't make food, and they also don't get any visitors ever. And so we have an opportunity to have a meal train through a website that we're developing, and people could go there. And that's an opportunity. You don't have a lot of extra income. You don't also have a lot of extra time, but you're already making dinner that night anyways. Why not make an extra plate of food and bring it over to a person that's just down the street? You know, it's just Hope for Good is ripping the veil off of these, you know, hidden needs in our society, in our community here.
Well, that's the isolation that's a killer.
Yeah.
And we're by ourselves, and people get by themselves, and then you lose hope, and you lose dignity.
Yeah.
You lose like the assurance that things are going to be okay. And what a knock on a door and a plate of food, what the light that illuminates from that, right? Just takes over.
Yeah, dude. We are trying to bring the hope of Christ right to people's doorsteps. That's what we're trying to do.
So, Easter offering, we're going to collect one here at our church. There are several other churches in our area that are going to collect funds throughout Easter, this time of Easter. And we're going to be able to supply needs as Jacob hears them. You know, if a need comes up, his job is not to just go meet the need. His job is to connect the need back to the church, a church. You know, Urbana United Methodist Church is in a specific spot of the city. There's other churches that are part of our county that are specific. You know, if there's a need in Mechanicsburg and there's a church over there that's ready to meet that need, we're not going to run over there and meet. That's for them to make that connection in their own backyard, right? Yeah. So there's lots of churches that are doing this together this Easter. So we hope that we would raise an amazing offering that would be able to be used for Hope for Good's outreaches, whether it's swim lessons or a month's rent or a tank of gas. Or maybe just a plate of food or something. And if there's other ways that they can donate and be a part of that.
Yeah, I'll just, first off, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the willingness to even do this. You know, we're just so excited about the things that God has placed in front of us, that this is even an opportunity, because a lot of communities don't do this, you know. And so it's just so special to be even able to do this. But so you can either, one of two things, if you're involved in your church heavily and you can talk to the pastor or the elders or your leadership there, you can either raise money through this Easter season and create, however your budget does it. You can either create a line item through your budget and keep the money at your place. Just let me know that you raise that money, and I will informally account for it. And when a need comes up, I will holler your way and be like, "Hey, this need needs filled. Can you write me a check?" So you can either keep it at your place, or we are currently housed under the Urbana Nazarenes nonprofit status, and so we are not Urbana Nazarene, but they're part of our coalition, and we love them dearly, and they're extremely helpful for us, and they keep our books. So if you want to donate to Hope for Good specifically, you can write a check to the Urbana Nazarene and just memo Hope for Good, and it'll go straight to our account, and then we won't even have to call you. So we could just write the check ourselves, and it'll be good to go. So you can do it either of those ways. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. So.
Well, we're so excited about this Easter and what this year has for us, as our neighbors and community are definitely experiencing hard times, tough times, right? So what is it going to look like? I'm excited for the future that the church gets to respond, and not to say look at us as the church, but look at what Jesus does to the lives that he touches through the process.
What people need most is not rental assistance, it's not a plate of food, it's not any of these things. What people's deepest desire is Jesus Christ. And so that is our core desire, that we might connect people to Jesus that we know and love.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Jacob. Appreciate you.
Man.
He's at the Friends Church, he's at Hope for Good, and he is at the junior high track at Urbana High School, right? And so he's always around the community. If you see him, make sure you say hi. And we'll keep you updated on all things Easter offering. Obviously, you can donate to our church as well for this, if you're an Urbana UMCer. And we look forward to sharing more as God does some awesome things. So we'll see you next week.